Record.
Way of Greater Greensboro. Welcome to the United Way of Greater Greensboro's first post-pandemic Family Success Center virtual meeting. We're so grateful to have you here today. And I see a lot of our Family Success Center staff, United Way staff, our investors, and a lot of new faces as well. So we're so excited and are grateful that you're joining with us today. It's been a long time since we've had tours due to the pandemic, but I think we're ready to start again. The staffs are ready, we're ready. So hopefully this will be the only virtual meeting that we have to have and go back to in-person meetings, but if not, we'll be doing it virtually. Today, you're going to learn about the Family Success Center concept, the history, and how United Way put all this together to really assist us in ending poverty. Please put all your questions in the chat box and we'll answer them at the end. And we will be recording this so we can send this out and also to add additional information to you all. I am very, very excited to just take a minute and introduce our new CEO and president of United Way, Kari Garvin, who's going to share a couple things with us.
Nadine, thank you. And to the Family Success Center partners out there, I just want to say good morning to you. I'm rounding out what is now my fourth week on the job. And you know what? I'm not going to let up one bit. So I just want to say good morning to everyone. I know that we have, as Nadine has already pointed out, we have United Way of Greater Greensboro staff. We have some of our good friends over at the Family Success Center. We have investors on the line as well. We are all partners on this journey. It's been 6 years, I believe, right, that we have been chipping away at this. And this really is in many ways one of the centerpieces of the good work that we're trying to do to stamp out poverty and to put a check on poverty in Greater Greensboro. So it's my great pleasure to be here today. My pleasure to meet you in this format in this moment, but really hoping to have an opportunity to meet with you face to face at some point in the near future. So with that, I'm going to give back to Nadine, but thanks for being a part of this very important meeting this morning.
Thank you, Kari. Today, you're going to learn about the background of United Way's Family Success Center. You're going to get to actually meet the directors, participants, and some other staff, and you're going to hear stories, more important, of people that are actually being assisted at our Family Success Centers, and we're going to have questions and answers. So get ready. I think you're going to be impressed. I think you're going to be wowed, but more important, I think you're going to be inspired. Next slide, Julia. You know, I think we just have to take a moment and talk about what has happened with the pandemic, because I believe that the pandemic brought not only our country, but our city's attention to what most of us who have worked in public health and nonprofits, that we have a healthcare and a housing disparities. We know that it was before the pandemic, we had a 19% poverty rate, and the pandemic made that bucket much bigger. We know a lot of things beforehand that we saw come very clear, and more important, we saw that the need is now even greater. So what are we going to do about it? And what United Way has committed to pre-pandemic, and we'll also do post-pandemic, is what we're doing with our strategic partners and what you're going to hear about today, our Family Success Centers. Next slide, Julia. I think to really start the conversation that we're going to have today, you have to understand what is self-sufficiency and the barriers that put us in barriers that are in place that are keeping people from being self-sufficient. This slide shows many counties here around us and what it takes to be what we say self-sufficient, meaning that you could take care of yourself or your family. And these are hourly jobs, but the minimum wage is $7.25. And you can see that if you're just one adult, you would need to make $10.74 an hour to meet your basic needs. Now, I'll just pause for a second because that is so important. But I think a lot of people have started to understand better that when we talk about fighting poverty, yes, we talk about people that are not employed, but also we talk about people that are underemployed, meaning that they have a job, but unfortunately, they're not making enough that they can be self-sufficient. We calculated that, if you had a minimum wage job, you need to work about 90 hours a week to make enough to be self-sufficient. Well, 90 hours a week, in a minimum wage job is unheard of. So please, really take a minute to look at this and pay attention, because it really paints a picture of, oh my gosh, what do people really need to meet their basic needs here in our city and also in our surrounding counties. So now I'm going to turn it over to Sarah to show that she's going to talk about what we're doing at Family Success Center that's making a difference.
Thank you, Nadine. I've been at United Way of Greater Greensboro since 2009, and I've seen all of this take shape, and I love my job. I'm so proud of this work. I could talk about it for days, but I'm going to try to focus and just hit some highlights. You know that more information will be sent afterward, and you know that you can type comments and questions in the chat. In March 2014, we hit the ground running. Our board voted to approve that United Way of Greater Greensboro, North Carolina, our United Way would have a single issue focus. Everything we do would be around this one issue. And it was not a small issue. It's poverty. One of the challenges with living in poverty and needing help is that you have to go to so many different places to get it. You fill out different forms, you explain yourself over and over to different people. You have to meet different eligibility criteria, be on different waiting lists. It is frustrating, tedious, and frankly oppressive that struggling people have to live like that. So don't get me wrong, it's not about the programs. The quality of the individual programs may be great, but it's the whole landscape of human services that had been fragmented for so long, and we kept hearing and hearing and hearing about it. So in 2014, we were looking for good examples of one-stop shops, co-located services, because not only do they help improve access to services, they can also improve the coordination of services. We looked at examples from Winston-Salem to San Francisco. We studied the research. What strategies are known to work in addressing poverty? We looked at good examples of partnership and collaboration, because we knew United Way would not be doing this ourselves. We are not service providers. We believe in not reinventing the wheel. We chose Guilford Child Development as a partner for the pilot phase. They shared our vision, and furthermore, they are experts in serving young children in families living on low incomes, preparing them for school through the federally funded Head Start program, the Best Practice Nurse Family Partnership Program, and other services. They're the best partner we could have found to try out this new idea. And their headquarters happen to be located in 27406, the zip code of our city with the highest poverty and unemployment rates, where we wanted to take services where they were most needed. We launched in the Guilford Child Development Building in 2015. The pilot phase ended in 2016, and we analyzed the results. We're very happy to see that the outcome scores of Family Success Center members were significantly higher than those of a demographically similar group who were not eligible for the FSC. So with that confidence, we issued an RFP, a request for proposals, in 2018, and assembled a volunteer committee to evaluate the proposals and select the best one to open our second Family Success Center. The committee chose Salvation Army of Greensboro, who opened their doors to families in January of 2019 as our second FSC. Just over a year later, we find ourselves in a pandemic. And so both of our centers have been operating virtually since that time, since last spring. and doing it very well. Families are still meeting their goals, still joining, still being supported. It's just different. It's very different. But we'll hear more about that a little later. Next slide, please. This is the model of the Family Success Center in a nutshell. I like to call it a family-friendly one-stop shop for services to support the entire household on their journey to financial stability and career success. We bring partners together in one location to provide services in these 4 pillars: education, financial capability, health and wellness, and employment. We build long-term relationships through coaching, because overcoming poverty is not a quick fix. Of course, employment is a path out of poverty. It's the main path out of poverty. But there's more to this work than people just getting jobs. You need not only skills, but also supports, a support system even. You not only have to get the job, you have to keep the job, and you have to move up so that your income reaches a livable level. Children need a stable life to succeed in school, and you must be able to meet your family's basic needs before you can even think about or focus on your growth. So it's not just a human services shopping mall, it's a holistic package of services that we offer that remove barriers and support growth. Integrating services from these areas into a customized, sequenced plan for each family has been proven to accelerate economic outcomes as you compare to receiving services one at a time. And that is our core strategy, integrated service delivery. We have classes, workshops, events, both virtual and on site, and in our parking lots when we need to. When members come on site in the good times, they get free childcare, meals, help with transportation if they need it, and most importantly, they get a coach. Our success coaches are trained in family-centered coaching, motivational interviewing, as well as equity and inclusion. Our coaches are honestly the foundation of this work, the bedrock. They are my heroes. Next slide, please. But even as wonderful as they are, the coaches don't do it alone. None of us could. This is complex work. No single organization can accomplish what we're trying to do here. What United Way does best is convening and mobilizing the community to make our community better. So on this slide, you see a few examples, many examples, not all of our partners, but they're helping us do this work. Next slide, please. And here's a snapshot of who we serve. Most of the adults we serve are in their 20s and 30s, mostly women of color. About half did not finish high school, so we have GED classes on site. Most are unemployed or underemployed when they join, so we have a range of job readiness and training classes through our partners. Most of our families have children and live on a very low income. Next slide. Here are some of our main outcomes that we measure that correspond to our 4 pillars. 45% getting a new or better job since they joined the FSC. 20% earning a GED or other certification, which is a much longer process than a lot of us thought. Over half have built healthier lifestyles through the FSC services, like visiting the counselor or the nurse, taking a nutrition or a fitness class, or just getting health insurance. And 42% have improved their money management skills. Next slide, please. So there you have an overview of the basic FSC model, our partners, members, and some key outcomes. Next, you'll hear from the 2 amazing leaders who run the FSCs. They'll introduce their teams and share their perspective on the work. Jay Webb is the director of our first Family Success Center at Guilford Child Development. He was actually one of the 2 first employees hired for the pilot and has moved up from a coach to a director. Crystal Broadnax, who will speak after him, has also been involved from the beginning because she was with United Way when we were starting the first FSC. And she's now the director of the second FSC at Salvation Army. So over to you next, Jay.
Good afternoon. I tell you, I was watching the pictures And it took me so far back that I lost my train of thought. I just got mixed up in where I've come from to where I am now. But I like to say again, my name is Jay Webb, and I serve as the director for the Family Success Center One. But I want to introduce you to some of the phenomenal workers. I mean, my job is made easier every day because when I come in, I'm greeted with smiles and an opportunity to change lives. And that's the most important piece that we have. Success coach Rhonda Johnson, success coach Grace Kelly, administrative assistant / coach Katina Madison, and the newest member to our team, assistant program director Angel Joyner. Now, guys, I'll tell you, I've been blessed. That's all I can say. We started this back in March 15th of 2015, and we knew we had something great, but we knew we couldn't do it by ourselves. So with the combination of partners, volunteers, community, friends, we kicked off pretty good, and we did a great job. But we were also learning as we were going. This is something new. I don't think the city understood it really well and what it really took, but we knew we had a great product and was in the best place to start it. Gift Child Development is #1 in early childhood. We know that. The 2-generational approach to poverty cannot be done without working with the parents and the children. Because if you feel one and don't feel the other, it doesn't allow the seeds to grow. So the seeds that we're planting now, we may not be around to see the harvest, but I promise you, it will happen. I've seen it from a young girl walking in the parking lot to not knowing what her next move would be, to becoming a yoga instructor, graduate with her GED, CNA, and now working on her nursing degree. I know it happens. To a couple buying their first home, working for a Fortune 250 company. I know it works. I've seen it. But it doesn't work by itself. The community has rallied around the Family Success Center and showed us love, and we want to make sure that we're utilizing our efforts and our strengths to continue this process. There's so much to tell. I only have a few minutes. So, what I do want to say is that when we started this, again, we were running smooth, then all of a sudden our world changed. The pandemic started. And actually, it really caught us off guard. We realized the disparities that our members had was the fact that some of them didn't even have electronics or Wi-Fi in their home. Now they not only have to be family success members, but teachers for their children at home. Can you imagine? So now we're trying to shuffle and find out, how do we keep providing the services and the resources for our families? This is very important to us. I will say this, we didn't miss a beat. Our numbers may have dropped a little bit, but we provide job readiness, financial literacy, education, and even Zumba. Can you imagine? Zumba, virtual? We did it. And as we're doing that, we also understood that in order to let our members know how important that they are, we had our first virtual recognition. It was amazing. The tears are flowing. Folks are receiving their certificates for accomplishments. Guys, we didn't miss a beat. But I will say we did learn something from this whole virtual world. One is that we need it. We can utilize it to move further. Our members showed us that they were not afraid of it. Our money management class stayed full the entire time. Think about that. So we know it's something that we need to keep as we move forward. Now, what we also came to realize is that self-care, trauma, we know it exists, and we know it has ravaged some of our parents to the point where they did not feel the need to continue on. And not only with our parents and our members, but our staff. We all have to be okay to make this happen. We've all been through a great deal. And those are some of the things that we learned as we went through this whole virtual world, and we will continue. Now, our vision for moving forward is to continue to provide resources for our families and our members holistically, but there's a group that we have to pay attention to, is that's our infants, toddlers, and teenagers. This 2-generational approach cannot happen if we do not keep our eye on the prize. And I'm grateful to have with me Angel Joyner, brings a plethora of knowledge and skill. And this will allow us to move further down that direction working with our kids. And another opportunity is to partner with companies that have career paths. As Nadine showed you the numbers and the hourly rates, we know that families can't move out of self-sufficiency with $7.20 an hour, but we know they need to work. And we need to build upon their skills and training and certifications that allow them to move up the salary range. Last but not least, entrepreneurship. Everybody's not cut out for a 9 to 5, but that does not mean they can't be gainfully employed and earn an income that will take care of their families. Guys, when I started this, I saw how our families were able to move. And I saw the number of hands that touched these families. And I coined this phrase, there's no one of us greater than all of us. And truly together, we can make a difference in moving these families to self-sufficiency. Guys, I thank you for your time. I'm excited about this work. This is what I do. This is not a flyby. This is a long-term investment. And I do think we'll see the fruits of this labor in years to come. Thank you, guys. Sarah?
Thank you, Jay. Crystal, over to you.
Jay knows I always tell him that you always have trouble when you go behind Jay Webb. So I am, as stated, I am Crystal Broadnax, and I have been in the role of director for FSC2 for a little over 2 years now. I'm super excited about being on the front line of this work. As Sarah said, I do have a history and a connection to United Way, and being kind of behind the scenes and helping with the development. And so now I get the opportunity to be on the front end and get to actually see the fruits of all of the labor that went into getting this up off the ground and getting things started. I also have an amazing team that I was able to come into, was welcomed with open arms, and we have made a lot of changes, a lot of growth, and a lot of progress during the time. So our assistant program director, Ms. Tawanda Johnson, I'm looking, I see all of the faces on the screen. We have Mr. Jamie Fuller, who is our lead success coach. Okay, I see Jamie down there. We also have Ms. Shanae McDuffie, who is also a success coach. And we have Ms. Ambria Webster, who is our lead childcare teacher and happens to be a social worker. So, you know, I have an amazing team that go above and beyond daily to make sure that our members are getting exactly what it is that they need, regardless of the pandemic that hit. Like Jay said, we didn't miss a beat. You know, we took a step, we took a pause, and we assessed the situation, we assessed the community, we assessed our partners, the members that we've been working with, and those members that were to come, to see exactly what the needs are and how we could continue to serve differently, but still effectively. And that's how we've been working. We've been working virtually. We have been doing some in-person things, but they've been minimal, just quick transactions, whether it's a signature here, a drive-through event there, to make sure that they're getting the supplies and the other things that they need. We've been doing our best to just keep things going. And when the Second Family Success Center came about, that was United Way's effort to expand the great work that was already happening and continues to happen at FSC1. The whole goal was to make sure that we were extending beyond just the 27406 service area to go throughout Greater Greensboro. And so with the two centers collectively, we have been able to do that. We have been able to move forward and span into the Greater Greensboro area, being able to serve more people and serving it together, still making sure that we are adhering to the fidelity of the model, all of our services and supports being under those 4 main pillars that were presented earlier in the presentation, and just continuing to make sure that we're making a positive impact in the lives of the people that we touch. That is what our vision is moving forward. That is what our goal is. Anybody that we're helping, anybody that we're connecting with, we want to make sure that they're able to reach their full potential and get to a place of success as they see it for themselves and their families. Not as we see it, but as they see it, and helping them to be able to successfully achieve their goals. And Sarah.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Crystal. Now we'll hear from members who have directly benefited from this work. We call our Family Success Center participants members of the Family Success Center because it is about belonging. This is a place they belong. So Jay will introduce his speaker, and then we'll hear from the FSC2 speaker.
I have the pleasure to introduce a member of the FSC1 that has started with us back in, I think it's February. Her name is Miss Aria Pierce. Miss Pierce, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Jake. How are you?
Good, good. If you don't mind, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you to the Family Success Center?
Yeah, so I'm 35 and I have 2 children. I am married and I've been in Greensboro all of my life. And my youngest child at the time, she was attending Early Hit Start, the home-based program. And that's when I first found out about FSC. And I thought that it would be beneficial to me and my family.
Mm-hmm. Right. So since you've been here, can you tell me a little bit about some of the things that you participated in?
Yes, my favorite class that I attend faithfully every Monday since February has been money management. I think you all heard this phrase, if you teach a man to fish, then he'll have a fish for a lifetime. And so when I think of money management class, that's what I think, because we learn so many key things, and I've realized that poverty is a mindset. And so a lot of times families, they struggle because they haven't learned how to save or budget, or they haven't learned the 4 walls. And faithfully, one of our instructors, Mr. Ken, he talks about the 4 walls all the time. And so it just gives us an opportunity to talk about some of those struggle areas that we can really hit on and make a difference for our lives.
Wow, that's so good to hear, because one of the hardest things to do is to teach money management to individuals sometimes who don't have money to work with. But to hear you say that is just like music to my ears. It can only happen if you, what is the saying that we have? Manage your money, don't let your money manage you.
Yes.
That's the quote that the team gave. Wonderful, wonderful. So also tell me, what is the biggest benefit for you and your family since joining the Family Success?
Biggest benefit has been having a success coach, and I see her on. So I like to give a special shout out to Ms. Rhonda Johnson. She's been a huge instrumental key person to encouraging me, because oftentimes you don't tend to take risks because of past experiences. Mm-hmm. And I applied for a full-time position, and I wasn't going to do it because of past experiences, but she encouraged me. Her and Grace Kelly, they looked at my resume, they helped me, and I attended the employability class as well. So I'm just thankful just to have my coaches there. And then even on yesterday, Ms. Rhonda, she even helped me to even start planning a business. I haven't, this is something new to me, but I haven't, I'm putting it in writing, and I'm getting excited because it's a passion that I have. And I'm realizing that outside of, I have 2 part-time jobs, but it's still not enough for my family. And so I'm realizing I can make some money on the side by a legitimate business using my passion. And so she was there to coach me. So I'm definitely grateful for the support through the whole program.
That is excellent. We talk about co-partnering with our members, and that's a sign of it. So that's great. Also, could you tell us what are your future plans and goals?
Yeah, so I'm currently in school, and so I intend to work full time, and everything I'm learning, I want to teach my children as well, because I want to break the cycle of generational poverty, and I want them to have a better life and a different mindset about money and finances and being able to save. And so even Mr. J, we started this, so we have our savings, and so I want to continue actively saving as well. And then be able to, what I've been learning, I want to be able to give back to other families and children one day.
Wow. Ms. Pierce, you are just cooking on all sides. Great. Last but not least, my last question to you. Would you share this with some of your friends or families or colleagues? Would you share the
Yeah.
family success? Would you tell them about it?
I definitely would 100%. I highly recommend FSC. It's a hidden treasure here in Greensboro, and it's so many families that you wouldn't even think about this impact because every family looks different. You know, not every family may not have a job. It may be some families have a job, they're struggling or don't have food to eat. So just taking, looking at families for where they are and do it, like FSC, they do an individualized assessment. So every family has different needs. So I highly believe that it can benefit anybody from all walks of life. And lastly, I just want to say thank you, huge thank you to Mr. J and Katina and Grace and Rhonda. And I don't see him on, but Mr. Ken, just the whole FSC, I really appreciative of. I may not say a lot to them personally about it, but I am thankful and I look forward to every Monday, just receiving this wisdom, you know, that's shared to help me and my family to grow and do better.
Well, Ms. Pierce, I really thank you for taking this time to share your story with us. And I make a promise to you, as long as you're moving forward and willing, we will walk with you every step of the way. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
God bless and hope to talk with you soon.
Thank
Sarah?
you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Pierce. Thank you so much, Jay, and the whole team. It's hard to follow these stories. Crystal, you have someone to talk to us as well.
Yes, I do. Today we have with us from FSC2 member, Miss Angelina Gill. She has actually been with our program since July of 2020, which means that she started during the pandemic. So Ms. Gill, we thank you for being here with us. We know that you have started a new position, so you are meeting with us on your lunch hour. So thank you so much for your time and your willingness to share this experience. And I know that she's on another page for me on the screen, but Ms. Gill, could you come off mute and just share with us how you learned about the Family Success Center and what was it that made you want to join the program?
Thank you for inviting me. I was actually at the center inquiring about another service, and Mr. Fuller let me know that you guys were offering another program, the Money Boot Camp at that time. And I agreed to enroll in the Money Boot Camp, and the relationship has just continued to grow from there.
Okay. And what specific goals in coming in with the money management and the other services provided through FSC, what specific goals did you set for yourself with your coach, who was Mr. Jamie Fuller?
One of the goals that we set was employment goals. I had the opportunity to work with him, and you guys utilize service and had the opportunity to utilize services through you guys while I was in a position as an assistant, a teacher's assistant. However, I have recently been promoted. The Money Boot Camp, some of the things that I learned there on this journey has helped prepare me as well to look at purchasing a home. So this new position, one of the goals that Mr. Fuller and I are looking at is changing some spending habits and focusing on saving goal to purchase a home.
And so that actually took us into our next question. Again, congratulations on your new position and being able to persevere. So coming into the program, learning about the program in the middle of a pandemic and with other situations going on in your life, you were still able to achieve those initial goals that you set for yourself, and not only achieve those, but were motivated to continue on and set additional goals for yourself. And so we're super excited to be with you along this journey and continue to work with you towards purchasing that home. We want to be able to help you see it through and provide you whatever it is that you need during that time. And so with that, what additional supports or additional services were you able to receive outside of just those that you discussed? What other things were you able to receive during your engagement with the Family Success Center?
During my engagement with the Family Success Center, I had opportunities where you guys were able to help me with meals, assistance with gas, even to get to work. Clothing vouchers. There were so many resources that you guys provided that really, truly, I probably can't name them all. Just the support alone has just had a really, really positive impact on my life.
Well, we thank you so much, Ms. Gill, for sharing your experience with us. And again, we definitely look forward to continuing this work with you. We are so excited for you and so proud of you about this new opportunity that you have been presented. You are definitely making a difference in our community, and we appreciate everything that you do with Guilford County Schools and with the Greensboro community overall. So thank you so much for being here today and taking your lunch break to be with us and share your story. And we look forward to what's next for you and your family.
Just thank you so much. Just the whole team. You all have just been awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Also from United Way to the staff of the Family Success Centers and the courageous members who let the rest of the community know about this wonderful work. We have people on this call from other cities and other states even who are interested in our work at the Family Success Center. Thank you very much again. Now we will open up to questions from the floor, either through chat or unmuting as well. Primarily chat so we can save them, but if you want to speak as well, you may.
Sarah, this is Stephen. Would you address the question that was already in the chat just so everyone
can hear it? Yes.
Yes.
We had a question about who are the partners who provide the money management and healthier lifestyles services. Each Family Success Center has a money management partner. At FSC1, it is Inheritance Financial Coaching, which is run and taught by Ken Griffin, the wonderful Mr. Ken that Aria mentioned. And at FSC2, it's Housing Consultants Group. They do the money boot camp over there and are actually also experts in preparing people for home ownership. So they are both core partners with the FSC. We have an even wider group working on healthier lifestyles. The hub of it all is the Cone Health Congregational Nurse. We have Miss Joyce at FSC1 and Miss Wanda at FSC2. And we also have mental health partners at both centers. Peace of Hope is the one at FSC2. And we are just forming the details of our partnership with Mental Health Greensboro for FSC1. We have Zumba instructors. Velmi is our Zumba instructor. We have Dancing Dogs Yoga who teach yoga classes. We have Miss Raven Tuffin from the Cooperative Extension Service teaching nutrition. And there may be others who've done occasional things, but those are the main partners. Next question. Any other questions? Does the self-sufficiency wage analysis include public support payments for which some wage earners would be eligible? Thank you, Mr. Davis, for the question. The self-sufficiency standard for North Carolina is the amount that is needed to pay your own basic needs without any subsidies, any support from public or private, not even friends or family. So it does not include public support payments. Does Alamance County have an FSC? From Gina Blackwell. I don't believe they have a family success center. There have been some conversations in that county. I talked with some people from a church who were interested in trying to see what they could pull together in Alamance County. So I am not sure who to contact there. There is a United Way there. Heidi Norwick is the executive director there. Maybe we can follow up if there's more questions about Alamance County. Other questions or reactions? Or any, if not, maybe any additional comments from our coaches or partners who might be on the call.
Sarah.
Yes. You muted, Jay. You hit mute by
Oh,
accident.
I'm sorry. I would really like to sum this up because I think sometimes we sort of get lost in the work. But you know, it's as simple as building a relationship that you can go to that person for anything. You know, sometimes when we have opportunities like this and we set up, you know, programs, we think because we set up this program that, you know, people will flock to it and they will stay with it. But we understand that's not true. A lot of agencies who are struggling right now to get members to participate because of stimulus checks and other things that have happened. We have to continue to evolve in terms of engagement. Some individuals know what they need, but for whatever reason, will not go to it. So there is some handholding. There is some relationship building that is definitely needed in order to drive our families to that next level. And I think that's what we do best. We don't look at as members as numbers, even though everything is driven by numbers. We look at them as family members, our extended family. That's why we're able to keep them engaged during a pandemic when a lot of programs struggle because members are not coming in. So it is a collaboration amongst this community, amongst our partners, and that's the only way it works. And I hope everyone gets an opportunity to see that. Even though these two individuals who shared their story today, we have so many more individuals that for whatever reason didn't make it or weren't ready. But Family Success Center does not throw away members. It's when the time is right for you. And I enjoy this work. The coaches, again, as she mentioned, are the backbone to it. The Family Center coaching that we picked up in the motivational interviewing changed the whole concept because now we understand that in order for a family member to be invested in change, they have to be the driver. And we help them to navigate to reach their goals.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay. And you know, we didn't even mention all the volunteers who help with the Family Success Center. We have a lot of people interested in being involved, and in your follow-up email, you'll get a little more detail about whom to contact to get involved in different ways. We not only need financial support, we need partners, employers, service providers, volunteer groups. We have a partnership with our United Way Women United group, where they're doing a series of workshops on different topics related to women's empowerment. We are having one-off presentations every now and then that could be done by somebody about their career field or job opportunities in their area. When we're back in person, we need opportunities for our members to network and to be exposed to different career paths and opportunities. So we use volunteer tutors sometimes. We have volunteers collecting hygiene and household cleaning supplies, interview clothing. There's a lot of different possibilities, even while we're virtual. So look for that follow-up email. I think another question just came in. And thank you, Ms. Williams, for mentioning jobs at Coke Consolidated. Question from Ms. Fernandez. What are some goals that the FSC has for the coming year? Crystal or Jay, Crystal first, if you've got something to comment on this.
I think Sarah, you actually just touched on some of the things that, you know, we've already kind of started working on in terms of providing different types of services or different types of programming. So we've been doing some surveying of the members just to get their input. What is it that we're not, that they don't have access to now through FSC that they would be interested in having? So what are some other programs? What are some other workshops, some other classes that we could potentially bring forward? So we're trying to just continue to expand, continue to bring more supports and more services to the table, even if that means that we have to do them virtually. We are prepared to continue to do that as well with, you know, just with the uncertainty of what's going to happen within the next few months. So again, doing information sessions, trying to meet with new partners, trying to connect with new people, new opportunities, and bring those things to our members so that it just increases the access that they have and helps improve their situation.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think for us is that 100% of our members are registered with NC Works because we do know that, you know, obtaining a job means that, number one, you're job ready. We try to make sure that everybody has a resume. You would think that everybody does, but they don't. Every member that joins our program, we make sure that they have a resume. We make sure that they are 100% invested in NC Works, which is a partner who, you know, makes sure that jobs are available for them. I think sometimes we do forget that our members have lives and life shows up. We don't want to burden them to the point that they don't feel like this is a need. So it is sort of flexible as far as, you know, their attendance, but 80% of the time, it's just like a class. If an individual does not participate 80% of the time, that individual doesn't graduate from that class. And that's a standard that we use in order to sort of see where we are. And also, we're looking at the credit score. I know that's something that, you know, is hard, but it's doable. We want to make sure that our members are conscious of their credit. So we continue to look at ways in order for them to improve their credit. All these things go into just as if it was your journey. The journeys that we've made it successful before, we want the same journeys for our members. And even though they have more barriers and obstacles, we still follow the same journey that you and I have taken to accomplish some of the things that we have.
Yes. The secret sauce of the Family Success Centers is the social and peer support. It's a positive place. It's a positive group of people. Members have told me in the past, you know, people believe in me here. They don't look at me like I'm trying to get out of my place. They're not trying to tear me down. They're building me up. We had another question from Ms. Rembert. Thank you. Are parenting classes being made available? We have had parenting classes at each center a little bit. I don't know what's planned next, but Crystal or Jay want to comment on those and who our partners are?
That is a focus. As I mentioned to you guys, I was blessed to obtain an assistant manager this year. I mean, assistant director, Angel Joyner, who I told is phenomenal. That was one of the first things that she brought to my attention, in which we knew already that in order for us to move forward, we had to recognize that our children have to be okay too. And parenting is the piece that continues to move that second generation. But when things are in chaos in your household and your kids are not okay, it's hard to focus on a job and a career when those things are falling. But also everybody that has children hasn't had parenting, you know, so we can't assume. So that's one of the things moving forward this year that we will have in place as well.
And our lead childcare teacher, Ambria Webster, has actually been trained and is certified in the nurturing parenting curriculum. And so we are in the works trying to get that up and off the ground, trying to see what the best approach to that will be. We were hoping to be able to offer that in person, but we may have to halt that just a little bit longer and begin to do some virtual sessions. So we will be starting that within the next couple of months at FSC2.
Thank you. We have time for one more question, I think. Quick question. if any? If not, I'll hand it back to Nadine.
Thank you, Sarah, and thank you to everyone who put a question in the chat. Thank you to our participants who shared their stories. Thank you to the coaches and the staff at the Family Success Centers 1 and 2. You all are amazing, and we are so fortunate to have you all as part of our United Way family. Thank you for all of you for taking time today to learn more about our Family Success Center and what has changed during the pandemic. I hope you've enjoyed this meeting and now has a better understanding of what we're trying to do and how we're trying to do it. We need you. We need you to volunteer. We need you to help spread the word that we have these 2 crown jewels in this community that are available to help people. We need you to help us financially. It cost over $1 million to fund the Family Success Center, and United Way is the sole funder. So we are fortunate to have great partners, investors in the community that contribute to this wonderful, groundbreaking work. I usually like to end with some comments and things, but today I have something very special for you. And I would like to introduce a very special person who is going to just share some insight. And I think this will really bring it home and make today so valuable so you can better understand the Family Success Center. I would like to now welcome Asar, who's just going to share a couple comments and close us out.
Hello, everyone. My name is Asar. I would like to read for you guys a letter that I have read. And yeah, I will go ahead and start it. The flower that you plant, it takes time, step, and patience, and you need to take a good care of it. First, you will need a flower pot. Next, you will need soil in the flower pot. Then you will need seed in the flower pot with soil. Last, you will need to put the flower pot in the sunlight. Finally, you can leave it to grow, but you have to water it regularly. When your plant grows and time to enjoy it, people seem like it. When your flower blooms, they will fall in love with it. Just like you, the moment that you have learned and grow from your mistake is the moment that you won't regret from the choice that you have made. By knowing that your self-worth is more valuable than the value of a diamond. Past is past, focus on the present day. Tomorrow is a brand new day for you to make a good choice. Wishing you the best of luck, my FSC member. Love and praying for y'all. Thank you.
Thank you so very, very much. There could not have been a better way to really sum up today's meeting. Thank you all for what you've done. Thank you for what you're considering doing, and thank you for what you will do. We are united in this community, so thank you very much, and you are so appreciative. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.